Hey everybody, welcome back to Iphone Bloke, the tech tuber where we help quality people to pick up quality product. Okay, so today happens to be a very exciting video, and this is in context to a mega battle, a topic which I guess everyone in 2021 discussing a lot. And before I start and say, welcome to all in my video, I really want to say thanks to one of my subscribers. His name is Anand, a good friend of mine, and he is the one who kind of suggested me or gave me a hint to make a video on this wonderful topic. So Anand, many thanks to you for helping us out with the wonderful content. And let me just give you a little dynamics on this. This is a well researched stats what I'm going to share to one and all with context to overall automatic versus the manual cars. A lot of people, those who are of my generation, let's say young generation, so-called millennials, are indeed going towards auto and not manual. Let's find out of this short intro. Let's get started. Okay, so the million dollar question which still remains right now is why do people go ahead and opting for manual cars compared to automatic cars? Now, the biggest questions is why people are buying automatic. What are the reasons? Is this the reason that they are not apt for, let's say, bumper to bumper traffic? Or is it the reason that let's say the automatic cars are well built in with lots of loaded tech features? So we'll talk about all these points, and I've got something very important stats which I've done a little research yesterday night, and I was pretty excited to present. So let's just find out the basic difference first, and then I'll tell you the do's and don'ts, and ultimately the final question, answer of this wonderful question. So the first thing first, the biggest difference what you see in these two cars is in automatic cars you get only three options. So four options, for example, park, drive when you start driving it, reverse, and neutral. Where in the manual cars you have a proper clutch, you have proper acceleration, and you have brake as well. Okay, in the automatic, clutch has no role, so it's just acceleration and of course parking, reverse, neutral, and reverse and start stop. These are the four creep function you have. You also have a function in automatic wherein at the moment you put into a neutral, you have a creep function called the vehicle automatically starts driving in. So you don't have to push acceleration initially when you start your car, let's say in driving mode. So that's a very healthy point for people, those who want to buy automatic. The next point, which I have done a little research about, is why people buy automatic. The biggest answer for this is if you happen to be a part of, let's say, Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, Bangalore, where these cities happen to have very kind of congested traffic routine, and almost everyone has a car. Now, to drive a car and be in a queue, let's say in IT sectors or non-IT sectors where there's a huge number of queue, it can become a little troublesome if you happen to have, let's say, a manual car, because ultimately you have to press go in the manual. But in automatic, what you just have to do is you just have to be like your moped. If you happen to own Activa or let's say Scooty, all those mopeds, what you do is you just put a brake on and the acceleration, and then let go, stop, let go, stop. So acceleration and the brake is what you all need to use, and that can be quite comforting while being in a queue over, let's say, 15, 20 minutes or 30 minutes if you happen to be in metropolitan. So that is a primary reason why people tend to buy automatic, if I really give you the real answer. Third point, which one is the most costly one? Is it the automatic or the manual? Now let me tell you something. The automatic cars happen to be on the costlier side because they offer you more luxury, more features, and more drivability when it comes to easy and comfort stuff. That may not be the case with so-called the manual, because in manual you have to really have a very good apt with the gear system. The clutch system has to be pretty well synchronized, and of course the acceleration. So this can be a little troublesome when you go in, let's say, in heavy traffic. So yeah, because of driving comfort, I would say automatic are getting more preference. That's one of the reasons. Mind you, we are yet to give you the rough final answer. Yeah, manual, yes, it's because of you get stuck in a traffic, and every now and then, if you are on the verge of having, let's say, a light gear in a vehicle, you're saved. But on the contrary, if you happen to have a car which is a heavy gear, especially diesel engines, you would screwed up. So that's one of the important reasons why also people prefer so-called automatic cars. The gear failure. Now, as per the research history, what I found out, people say that it is very highly impossible to have a gear failure in automatic cars compared to manual cars. Manual cars can easily get stuck in a gear, and it has happened with a lot of people of, let's say, I would not call it my clan of friend, but then I have heard a lot of stories by research and news as well. People, at times when they're on the highway, the gear kind of gets stuck. It gives them a rubbery feeling as well. So there's a gear failure is quite possible, in manual, but in automatic, it's highly impossible. But let me tell you, if it happens in automatic, it's a costly affair. Other important factor. So let's say if you've already driven the manual, then driving in automatic is a cakewalk. But on the contrary, if you've only driven the automatic, then I can bet you would find yourself in a very tough situation to drive from auto to manual. So that's a drawback according to me. Those who have driven the automatic and they've only learned the automatic, they cannot drive, let's say, a multifunctional fifth gear, sixth gear, 1, 2, 3, 4, because a real synchronization of so-called the clutch with the gear is very, very important for mileage, for safety and security. And if you do not know how to do that, I would not recommend you to go and drive from auto to, let's say, manual right away if you're not accustomed to in bumper to bumper traffic, because you end up screwing someone's bumper or someone body dashing. And these days, today on the highways or even in the local city, people are very aggressive. Even if they get a scratch in their cars, they'll come back and start fight. So I think that's a major drawback. If you are coming from manual to automatic, you still need some time to get used to it, but then your speed would be quick compared to very laid back for people those who are driving manual first and automatic first and manual later. Okay, last point, which is one of the important points I really want to talk about, the real questions answer. So which one shall I go for? Now always remember, most of the let's say automatic cars these days happen to have a good mileage, which primarily has been the case with, let's say, people with manual mileage cars. So those who have manual, I think they're gonna have more of a mileage if you happen to know the right driving dynamics only then. Otherwise, cars with automatic will end up giving more mileage because the gear changes automatically, swiftly, more smoothly. So you can have more mileage compared to manual. So the $1,000,000 question is, what should I opt for? Well, it depends on your choice. If you want to be an enthusiast, then absolutely no to automatic. And when I say automatic, I'm not talking about the high profile cars when it comes to enthusiasts, because high profile cars happen to have a lot of torque, so they'll end up with a lot of fun. I'm talking about the mid-range, let's say from 15 to 30, 35 lakhs, that particular range of SUV and the hatchback, whatever. Wherein if you really want to have a hassle-free driving, a comfortable level of driving, where you're not a real sharpshooter in terms of reverse parking, driving bumper to bumper, you want to give yourself a kind of a comfortable ride, then close your eyes, go ahead and buy any automatic. It will surely help you. But do remember, automatic can be a bit jerky compared to manual, where there's more fun, more engagement from the human element. I hope this was useful. If this was, do subscribe and connect with us on Instagram, Twitter, podcast, and many more social websites. Till next time, take care.